let's talk about bad education. How was your education journey? Because mine, it was a full blown roller coaster and not the fun kind. I started in Montessori and I swear some of those teachers just hated kids. You would get slapped for the smallest mistake. One time I wrote A to Z instead of A to Z. Honestly, that was creative, but apparently creativity wasn't welcome. Kindergarten was fine, neutral, nothing dramatic. Then real school started, and that's when life turned into factory mode. Right from the first grade, we were trained to be machines. My whole life revolved around school. I would go from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., come home, do homework, study, repeat. That was it. No hobbies, no exploring, no discovering what I actually liked. Just grades, grades, and grades. Every parent just wants good marks, and eventually you stop being a person and start being a performance report. You lose the ability to make decisions for yourself because no one ever lets you. Then came pre university, which was personally one of the worst phases of my life for so many other reasons. And then engineering, 4 years of CSE, and that was the biggest disappointment. Tell me why a professional degree felt exactly like a school. It was still just memorize for exams, puke it onto the paper, forget it the next day. In labs, instead of teaching us why code works the way it works, they would just make us memorize programs. We would run it, debug it with the professor's help, submit it, and move on. We were not taught how to think like programmers. We weren't taught how to build. For major projects, half of the time it was pre written code that we just adjusted. You might ask, what were we even doing all those semesters? Nobody explained how any of it connected to the real life or actual jobs. And internships? Don't even get me started. Instead of letting us go work in a real company, they rushed us into getting certificates as fast as possible. Quantity over experience. There were so many things wrong during those degree years. At least in school, you knew what was next. Pass a grade, move forward. Now, I feel lost. I don't know how to make decisions confidently. I don't have hobbies I deeply care about. I don't have excitement for anything because we never had time to build a life outside of classrooms. So, yeah, I spent years getting educated, spent a ton of money, and still couldn't land a job. And when that happens, people don't blame the system, they blame you. They call it excuses. But what about the impact? What about the years we lost? Those were our most important years. Now suddenly we are adults expected to have it all figured out. Life doesn't come with a manual. Sure, but what exactly were those years preparing us for? I genuinely think schools and colleges need more practical learning. Theory alone did nothing for us. Shorter class hours, space to live, assignments that actually test understanding instead of making us write pages of stuff that ends up in the trash. Especially in degree colleges, stop making us write long answers no one reads. Use multiple choice questions, OMR sheets, whatever. Let us focus on real technical skills. Teach what companies actually look for. And for real, why are not mandatory internships a thing like they are in medical fields? Paid, structure, real world exposure, that would change everything. So I want to ask you, what changes do you want to see in schools and colleges? What's something you regret from your education years? How did your education system affect you as an adult? Let's make this an open ended conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks for watching.